Hi, welcome to Robyn's Roost. Today I'm going to be making a gnome tower card, and it's going to be a fall themed one. We actually made a more light pool party based card at my card class the other night, but I'm actually going to switch it up and make it a fall card. I guess I'm in a fall mood today. So let's flip the camera and get started. So the trick to making this card, of course, is to get the base created. And it's actually not as hard as it looks. Once you do a couple of them, it becomes fairly easy. But there are a lot of scoring and cutting steps to kind of figure out. So first of all, you're going to start out by cutting your card base 5.5 by 8 1/4. So you're going to cut a 1/4 inch off of the edge of what would normally be your standard card base. So next you're going to make some score lines on both sides, because you have that little tower effect on each side. So what you're going to do is you are going to score, and I'm going to use my trimmer just because I can do it all with one tool. I love this the Stampin' Up! Trimmer for that. You have a scoring blade and a cutting blade, so we can do it all with one tool. So we're going to score it 1, 2, and 3. Then what I like to do is to flip it over so that I don't have to remember any other odd numbers, because if you do it all from one direction, you're going to have gosh, I can't even think right now. It's not even numbers. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. Now that's going to give us our score lines so that we can do all that fancy folding, right? And you have this center strip that's a little bit wider in the middle for our where our main design is going to go. Now we need to cut slits, okay? So we need 2 slits here, 2 slits here, and then 2 slits here and 2 slits here. So there's 4 different places that we're going to make 2 slits. But we can do them kind of all at the same time. Now I like to do my put this on the 1 inch line with your, and you're going to use your score lines to know where you're going to cut. So you're going to cut from the first score line past the second score line, stop at the third score line at 1 inch. Then you're going to pick it up and you're going to do the same thing on the other side, right? And you can do this from the measurements too, but just for simplicity's sake, I'm following my score lines because I want the cut to be in between the score lines, right? Now I'm going to slide this down and I'm going to cut on this side. Of course, you don't have to do it this way. This is just, in my mind, it's easier. I do the 1 inch, then I do the 2 inch. Okay. So now I want it lined up on my score line. I'm going to pick it up, pop it back in on this score line, and slide to the other one. Now I'm going to do that exact same thing. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to do the 1 inch. From the first score line across the second one, stop at the third, pick it up, do it on this side. Then I'm going to slide this to the 2 inch and do the 2 inch on this edge. Pop my blade back down, pop it down, score line to score line. So now I have all my cutting and scoring done for my base. I'm going to move my trimmer out of the way. So you'll see we've created these slots, right? Now, to get these folded, what I like to do is I fold this outside one, then I'm going to flip it back, and I'm going to pop up these two with my fingers, kind of squeeze them, and fold this down. So you're pulling out those two middle ones and pushing down the other ones so that it's folded like that. And then we'll just go ahead and do that same thing on the other side. We're going to flip that back and then work from the back side. Put your fingers in here, get it started to fold. And once you feel that it's folding, then you can squish it down. And that's our card base. So now we can decorate our base. You have these two edges here that you can put strips on, and you're going to probably want to cut those pieces 3/4 of an inch by 5.5 if you want them to go end to end, or you can do 5 1/4 if you want them a little bit shorter, go to a 1/2 inch. It's kind of up to you. You could even mat them if you wanted. Then we have these 3 strips here, and these are 4 inches. Is kind of what I do my designer paper, 4 inches by 3/4. This one I cut to 1 1/4, I believe. And like I said, you can mat them if you want. For this particular card, I'm not going to do any matting. So I've used the Rustic Harvest, I believe is the name of this paper. And these are cut full length, so they're going to go the whole length. So they're 3/4 by 5.5. And then I have, this is another piece of the Rustic Harvest that I'm going to put here. And we're going to put a different pattern. I'm using 3 different patterns here so far. And then I have, this is a decal cut piece of the Rustic Harvest. It's going to go right in the middle here. And then I have taken, because I was doing the gnomes on my other card that I did for class, I was kind of in a gnomish mood. And if you've heard me talk about gnomes before, I've always found them kind of creepy. I'm one of those creepy gnomes persons. But I've actually started to like these little guys. So he's going to get popped up right in the middle of there. So let's go ahead and hear all these parts. So now our card is almost complete. I want to add a little greeting at the bottom, and I am going to use the Charming Sentiments stamp set and the Sentiment Silhouettes dies. So these dies will cut out these fun sentiments. So I just want this little guy to say, hey there. And I already have that one mounted. So I am just going to take a piece of piece of crumb cake, because I'm going to fussy cut, not fussy cut. I'm going to die cut this. So I'm just going to stamp my little words with some early espresso, and I'll be back in a minute when I get this die cut. I did want to share a little tip about these dies. Now, as I've been using the different sentiments, I have been writing which sentiments match which die, and I outlined each die with just a pen, so that when I go to die cut, it's really quick to figure out which die I need for which stamp, because they are a little bit hard to figure out. And why do it every time? You may as well just do it once, right? So now another thing with these, play with them. When you use them the first time, you're going to be a little frustrated because the words are kind of tiny, and of course the dies have to have enough metal to hold the pieces where they need to be, so you can't see exactly where the edge is. But don't fret. Use it a few times. It will get better. You'll kind of get the hang of where you need to have the die to cut them out right. Use scraps of paper. Doesn't take a lot. And don't worry about it. Just chill. I tell myself that a lot because I'm kind of a anxious, panicky kind of person. So, and hey, these gnomes are pretty chill. Oops, I got a little bit of. When your tape runs over, just go ahead and fold it in. It'll be fine. And I could have pushed this flat. I don't know why I'm holding it up. Okay, so now we've got our cute little woodsy gnome. Doesn't he look like he's just sitting out in the woods? And I don't know. He's just enjoying the fall day, right? So I hope you enjoy this summer day because it is still summer here. And if you can't be outside, or if you have some time to be inside in the air conditioning, if yours is working, which mine isn't, go ahead and make some cards. So if you need to order some supplies, hop on over to my store. I'll have the link below. And I did want to I did want to make another little mention to you. This morning I opened a new order and one of my dies was bent. So I immediately called Stampin' Up, and they are so helpful when something like that happens. Give them the information about what the package looked like, what the damage is. They'll take care of you. So if you ever have a problem with an order that you place with me, you can call me, of course, but you can also call Stampin' Up. They actually probably answer their phone better than I do, and they will take care of you. So you have a great day. Get outside, enjoy some sunshine. Thanks for stopping by at the Roost.